All our guests visited yesterday Energia Discovery Center, and this building was done by those two young women. As I remember, there was a big competition that you won, and the starting of your bureau was the same year. So after you won a project, then you started working on your own.
Yes, it's not working. Okay, thank you. Yes, it was. Everything was happening really quickly. We were working for another firm, and we had an idea to create our own company. And then we won an open competition and really quickly signed the contract on the 1st of April and started designing this project. And first of all, my name is Margit Aule, and I'm really glad to be here. Thank you for very interesting presentations. And we founded KAOS in 2010. And we have two partners. I'm architect, and my good colleague here says herself her name.
Hello, I'm Margit Argus, and I'm interior architect. So,
okay, basically, we don't make any difference between architecture inside or outside. And we also really often use graphic design as a part of our projects. And And we can do nothing without teams. So here you can see our good colleagues that help us to do all these projects. We have architects, interior architects, and graphic designers that we work hand in hand. But a little bit about KAOS also, that chaotic systems appear to be random, but they have to actually have order in them. So I think that, maybe in a way our, projects, the sites are a bit of a mess, and so we help our clients to create some order and some kind of better situation for the projects.
okay, and our first project, what we want to talk about, is this Discovery Center Energy in Tallinn. So it used to be an old power station in Tallinn, and it is built in 1929. So nowadays it has a new function as a science center. It situates near the sea, and this area, it used to be closed for the citizens during the Soviet time. But nowadays it's opened again, and it's a nice area to walk around as you did yesterday. So here are a few pictures what it looked like. So from 1929. So the main topic for us was also this turbine hall, because it's really a glory big hall, and we wanted to keep the view like that it was in history. So, but we had to include there many exhibits, mainly hands-on exhibits. So what we did, we had this existing turbine hall from 1929, and we added new exposition. So, but we wanted to keep it away from walls. And so now there is stand separate exposition, and display all the old hall. This is a 3D render before constructions. So the exposition is inside the hall, and it's colored black, and it looks like a big machine inside the big room. Here are some pictures when it was under construction. And now it looks like that. Now it's completed.
Yes, the opening is also today.
And very important decision for us was to put stairs between these old columns, which carries the old machinery and the generators. And these columns are really fat because the machinery are very heavy. But at the end, it's very nice view. And we clean the...
Yes, the old concrete is visible, and it's really like characteristic to this building, because it used to be an industrial building, and you can see how beautiful an industrial building was in the beginning of 20th century. And of course, this room was unheated when it was built, and one of the big things that need to be solved was that how to create actually inside, because before the building didn't have walls in the basement, so it was only like 10 degrees in the hall during the winter. And this is planetarium. Yes, and this is next project. This is treasury of the university, and it's located in Tartu. And this is medieval church. It standed in ruins for years, and during 70s, it was partly redone by Polish builders, and actually they inserted floors in this old church. And this is the view to the work. So we had like one level in this church. You can see the arches are old, but the floor and the ceiling is new. And we had to work with a room and create exhibition. So what we decided to do is to add a layer, new golden layer, because this is a treasury, and there one can see the most rare exhibits. So we decided to accentuate the idea with this golden ceiling and to hang all the showcases from the ceiling. So every exhibit is in one showcase, in a spotlight, in a focus. And here is a detailed drawing, how we did the ceiling. Actually, we had only 4 types of elements. They are 2 meters and 2 meters. And we did this kind of model for these 4 elements. And then we unfolded these ceiling elements flat. And then they were laser cut and they were put together. So actually it appears random, but it actually has an order and system in it. And here you can see how it is put on the place. There were hooks in the ceiling, and it was like lifted up with a truss. But still, we painted the walls black, and to give more the sense of a treasury. And here on this picture, you can see how still the ceiling needed this kind of final touches were made by hand to put the elements together. And this is the result. Really in this kind of like golden, the combination of gold and black. And on the floor, we had the sayings of really like famous guys who have an history with the University of Tartu.
And the nice thing is that it has just 200 square meters, and there is only 30 exhibits. There are very few exhibits that they didn't put there too much. So
Yes, it was a discussion in the institution itself. Here's a little clip about this project. This is the old church. It doesn't have a roof partly. So, because we had a system, it was really easy for us to design the project, but to carry it out was a little bit more tricky.
And now we talk about Estonian Embassy in London, that actually on Monday they started to build that. So Estonian Embassy in London situates in Kensington area. So, and it is 6 stories high building, which what is built in 1857, and it was used as a private residence for one family. So here are a few pictures how it looks now before constructions. It is quite in a bad situation. So this neo-classical historical house has very nice details like cornices and doors and fireplaces and stairs, and all that we will keep. And what we do there, we put there inside Estonian landscapes. So every floor has a different Estonian landscape. So the method how we do that is that all the new walls we put inside, and the furniture and the curtains, we cover these details with Estonian stories. So we talk in this metropolitan house, inside the house we talk Estonian story, which are Estonian landscapes.
So Estonia is really like new Nordic. It's a modern country, but we still have like really beautiful nature.
And the result will be that the interior will be Scandinavic, but still there is a little details from Estonian. And the atmosphere there will be like magical and foggy, like this mirror on the wall. We cover it with gradient translucent film with what creates an illusion of fog. So here is a view to the cabinet, to the office.
This is where the ambassador will work in the future.
So, and also on the chairs are covered with photos, what are printed on it. And the public toilets, there are like also the walls. And the view to the consular area, that the citizens goes into the house and they like they are in Estonia at the same time when they are London. Okay.
So all the projects that we showed today, these buildings are under heritage protection, and for us it has been like really good material to work with. And for us, it's really important that the new things we add in the building and the building, they make a whole. We want to, like, the whole room to tell one story. So for us, this kind of storytelling is really important, and this is this magic that makes our work so enjoyable. And we also humbly want to share with you good news that today we also launched our new website, so we would be really pleased if you could find some time to see our projects on our webpage also. So thank you very much.
Questions? Who has a question?
Interesting what you were doing over there in all those buildings, but for the embassy in London, the building you only the building is only restored. There's nothing changed. Everything what was away is new made, or how is the building? What is the situation of the building? The stairs were there, or did you make new stairs or new layout for the different spaces, or what happened there?
Oh, you mean this Science Center Energy? No,
no, the building in itself.
The building itself, it has in a bad situation, but all the staircases and even the doors, they exist there. They are there, but the interior design, like we have actually the function, we changed the function. It has been as a private house, but nowadays it will be an embassy. So the function will change, and we have to change the planning. So main, yes, it has under the heritage protection, so very tough heritage protection. So we just the basement floor, we can do there more than the upper floors. So that's why also the solution are really delicate, that we put the new items like the we were talking about this Estonian story, we put inside the furniture mainly, like the walls has to stay there, like they are.
Yeah, but I can imagine that you have to make new installations and to do something with the isolation or all that kind of things. What are the results of all those works in this space?
All the ventilation and are solved also in a delicate way. Like we use the
we used existing chimneys, so you know this kind of it's invisible. The new systems are totally invisible. As much as could be done is going to be done, but there won't be this kind of big things or something like that. So
thank you.
Thank you for the interesting presentation. I have a question about all these 3 cases. If you are going to work with these projects, do you know already for how many years should these exhibitions or these interiors stay?
yes, of course, always when we start to work, then our clients tell us how long it will be there. For example, this University of Tartu, it is for 10 years, and also Science Center Energy, the exhibition will be there for 10 years. But what about London? I hope at least 10 years. Because we have been told that, Estonian, the government of Estonia is not so rich, and everything has to be really good quality.
If you know that those projects will be there for 10 years, did you also already designed how it will disappear?
When we choose materials, we think about how this material will react to the crowd, how it will look when people's feet will scratch the floor, and etc. So actually, I think that the materials, what we use, the selection is quite small, because if you use a material and it's proven like a concrete wall, then you know what is going to happen in 10 years. But actually, it is really interesting question, and it made me think about how I will look at, for example, this golden ceiling in 10 years. I don't have this answer yet.
I forgot to say that I'm really impressed of your work.
Oh, thank you. And of course, the Science Center Energy, as I told yesterday also, that this room will be changing all the time. For example, if you go there in like 2 months, there will be new exhibits, and the impression of the room is changing all the time. So I hope these beautiful white walls and black machinery will remain, but everything else is changing.
Since there were no more questions, I will give you a big thanks.
Thank you.
And please, everybody, welcome at 9 o'clock